Yo, what's up, guys? Long time no see. Howdy. So let me say, first of all, for the people that know, this is not the video about my ex. I'm gonna do that soon, and yeah. So I'll say this for now. Am I gonna talk shit on my ex? No. Is it gonna be brutal for someone else? Fuck yeah. Okay? And it's a fucking disturbing as fuck story. But I'm gonna tell the fucking truth about it, right? But let's skip over that. That's all I'm gonna say about that for now. Let's skip over that. And I'll just say, let me pitch for a minute. Okay, so I have a video I'm doing next for free. That is, it's just my thoughts going into 2024. You know, coming out of 2023. Tough love. Is it going to be like light and fluffy? Obviously not. You know, but this video is about. I always check my time here. That's what I'm doing. If I go like this, I'm looking at the clock. Anyway, so a lot of you guys probably already know that, but this one's about, to me, the most important aspect a writer needs to possess. The number one fucking aspect. Beyond being a good writer, all of that shit. Like that shit, being a good writer, like being pro level, that should go without saying. That's fucking obvious, you know. But beyond that, moving through the industry and whatever the fuck else, the number one thing you gotta have is you gotta know what your fucking vision is and stick to it. No matter what, dude. You know, think of like the greats in history for across the board, across mediums of all arts. You know what I mean? You look at like what? You look at Shakespeare, right? Is he gonna change his shit just because someone tells him, I think you should go that way? No. No way. Richard Wagner, classical composer. No, dude. He likes dark shit. That's what he did. Fuck you if you don't like it. You know. Who else? Picasso. You know, people. I don't get it. Who cares? I don't care if you don't get it. I'm gonna keep doing this. You know. And that's, you know, who else? Let's name filmmakers, right? Chris Nolan. Oh, some people are like, oh, it's too heady. I don't get it. Then he's like, then don't fucking watch my movie. How about that? You know? Or, you know, who else? Coen Brothers, right? They're like, we just want to be in our little, you know. Some people are, it's too weird, man. It's too weird. And they're like, I don't really give a fuck. Like that's what we do. Okay, so. You know, and they're just like, we just want to be in our little part of the sandbox, and you know, we don't even really I'm not speaking for them. I'm just saying that's the vibe I get. Like, we don't really, you do your thing, and we'll just, we don't, you know, we'll just do our little thing over here, and you know, so I think that's one of the, and what brings this up, I think that's one of the hardest things for new writers to fucking get a grasp of. Like, number one, finding their vision. Not, you know, it's their voice, you know, and their vision. I think they go hand in hand. And then sticking to it. You know, and not being like, oh, let me chase this, let me chase that. But I have a, you know, Tarantino. That's it. He's kind of it's his brand. You know what I mean? Like, finding your brand and sticking to it, no matter what the fuck anybody says. You know, and I think a lot of new writers, and this is why I'm saying this, like, this is something to work on, dude, because I've seen people on writer Twitter, and I can tell they're fucking brand new. You know what I mean? I can tell they never fucking stepped foot in the industry and don't understand this shit. Like, they didn't win a contest, they didn't place, and some people literally fucking cry about that. Like, literally. Not just an emoji, they're actually crying. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you giving your power to them, dude? That means nothing. You know, it's like if you could make these people realize that means nothing. Okay, ma'am or sir, why are you crying? Because I didn't place and everybody else looks like they placed. Who cares, dude? None of that shit matters. There's scripts that placed all over the place and they walk them into Hollywood and people are like, no thanks. You know, there's scripts that didn't place anywhere. Everybody says no, and they walk into Hollywood. Everyone's like, yeah, fuck yeah, give me that. No, give it to me, give it to me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fucking match. Okay. But there's so don't worry about that shit. You know, another fucking dangerous thing is people will get notes, you know, brand new writers, they'll get notes, you know, from one of these fucking services or one of their friends who's at the same level as they are, who's not broken in. No one real has said, you're a fucking amazing writer. You know, no one. And they get notes from their friend and they're like, I'm gonna immediately change everything. You know, I'm going their way. And it's like, your friend could be fucking wrong. Do you know that? Like, what are you doing? Take a breath, and I'm drinking, by the way. I should admit that. Okay, having a little tequila, a little asombrosa. Okay, so you like that glass, little bullet? I thought it was fun. Anyway, so I'm not fucked up, not yet. But you know what I mean? That is so fucking dangerous. You could be writing yourself away from a good script because you're listening to someone who doesn't know what they're doing and believes they do. You know, that's a thing that a lot of fucking noobs do is they're adamant, you know, that they're right, and they have nothing to fucking prove that their opinion is correct. Let me try to speed this up. I don't want this video to be too long. You have to know. You have to be able to look at and here's why, dude. You have to be able to look at their notes and be like, that's bullshit. You know, I read your script, it's trash, and your notes are also trash. Respectfully, you know, because, you know, once you get into the industry, now you're dealing with fucking pros, right? Who have, you know, hits under the belts and shit, and they're giving you notes, but sometimes their notes are not right. And you have to be able to have your vision be not difficult. I'm not saying be difficult, but be able to know the difference between a fucking great note that you immediately hear it, you're like, yeah, I'm excited to fucking put that in. That's fucking great. Or the note where you're like, I don't know, I need to think on that one. You know, or the note, and maybe you think on it, you're like, they're right. Or you think on it and you're like, no, it doesn't work. Or the note you hear, it's fucking wrong, dude. And you're like, listen, and you stand up for yourself and say, listen, explain it to them. We pull that string, the whole thing falls apart. And I'll tell you why. And then, like, you know what they do after that? Scratch that note, never mind. You know? What is that about? That's about trust, dude. Like, they have to be able to trust you that, and they always think they're the smartest people in the room until you go to the fucking page, you know? Then they're like, I don't know, man. It was just an opinion, you know, like, nobody wants to have a fucking note that's terrible. No one wants to be liable for a note that doesn't fucking work and fucks the whole script up. That was them. Here it is. Here's proof. Here's your note, you know? Which is why they like to talk a lot versus like, yeah, I'll send you a document. You know? I don't want that to be on my back. That's how they feel. But you got to be able to know when that's bullshit. But let's go over here now. You know, for example, like the services and shit, you got, in my opinion, one guy's opinion, right? Do it how you want to do it. It's really none of my fucking business. But to me, this is something to look out for going into 2024. Like, you have to be able to know that. I mean, first of all, I don't see why the fuck you guys keep sending your shit to service companies and like you're sending it to like anonymous people. You don't know who the fuck's behind that. So why would you care what their fucking note is? You know? And if they say your script is bullshit and you know it's not, and by the way, that's why, part of the reason why I posted some of my pages, you know, there they are. They're on Twitter. You can go look at them. Read it and make up your own determination, right? Like a lot of haters have said, he's a hack, all this kind of bullshit. I know how to fucking write. I know my writing is good. Is it the best in the world? No. I don't know. Probably not. But I know I'm fucking 100% positive that it's at a pro level. The only thing I don't know is, like, when I finish a script, generally it's at a fucking pro level. Like a spec, I know that. What I don't know is if, and that's what I'm saying too, is you gotta get to that place where no one's gonna fucking talk you down from that. Like, oh, I didn't realize it was pro, I'll go leave you alone. No, like, it's pro. What you don't know is if there's a buyer for it. That's it. You know what I mean? You don't know if the timing is right. That can fuck you up. You have a perfectly great script. You take it out, they're like, bad timing. We just bought something like that. So sorry. Like, that's got to become your problem. It's not if the script is good. You see what I'm saying? And for the services, they got two fucking motivations. Look at it. If they tell you your script is trash, then they have a motivation to keep you come back and get our notes, and we'll help you fix it. Just pay us, dude. That's it. Put money in my hand. Or there's a motivation to tell you your shit's good too. You ever thought of that? To be like, yeah, your shit's perfect. Oh my God, let me post that online. I feel so good. But that goes away. How long does that feeling last? A day? Then you turn around and you're like, oh yeah, I still got to deal with the real industry who is not saying that. So something is up there, in my opinion. If you want to be fucking honest with yourself, and that is the hardest thing for writers to do, is to be honest with themselves and pull back those layers and be like, is this script fucking good? And to not mind fuck themselves. It is, it's not. It is, it's not. It's the best, it's the worst. Like, you gotta get to that place where you're like, no, I know, like, objectively, I know this script is good. Beyond that, who the fuck knows what's gonna happen with it? But I know it's good. And if anybody tells me it's not, I don't really care. But, maybe some of that comes with going out and attaching producers and this kind of shit and getting agents and this kind of shit. And then maybe, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think it's probably a hard thing to super grasp before that shit happens, because, you haven't quite been vetted and validated and this kind of shit. But I think at a certain point you reach a point where you're like, I don't need the validation anymore. I don't need to, like, obviously you need to be vetted always, but the validation part, you're like, I don't need that anymore. And that's why I say that about, if someone said to me, I send it to a fucking service and they say it's perfect, like characters perfect, dialogue perfect, title perfect, everything, like page count perfect, everything, like, I'm gonna be super fucking suspicious. I'm not gonna be happy. I'm gonna be, who the fuck is this? I'm gonna be suspicious as fuck, because this sounds like some bullshit. This sounds like nothing you would ever hear in the industry. Has anybody who's shopped their shit, got repped and sold shit, whatever the fuck else, have you ever gotten that note from a studio? Perfect. Never, dude. You know what I mean? And here's the other thing. Who really gives a fuck? Sorry, I'm trying to talk fast. I'm trying to wrap this up. Let's only go 15. See if I can do it. I'll try. Because my drink's gone anyway. But have you ever gotten that note? Like, it's perfect. Never, dude. Not for me. I don't know anybody who's ever gotten back, like, we have no notes. That's never fucking happened. So yeah, that's a huge red flag. Anyway, let's end it here. You gotta be the one to not need, when you're to a pro level, my opinion, one guy's opinion, when you're to that pro level and you're ready for Hollywood, you're ready for the industry, it's when you get to that point where you know your shit's good. You know it, objectively. You know it's good, you just don't know if there's a buyer for it. It's really that simple. But it's really hard to get your head in a state of mind to be able to look at your work objectively. Which is why when you finish your script and it's on spec, no one's waiting for it. You know what I mean? Like, no one's waiting for it. You know, meaning you don't have an agent, you're not trying to, you know, there's not a producer waiting for it, none of that. It's just like, you could send it out to a contest or something, or you could try to submit it. No one's waiting for it. Put it away. Put it in a fucking desk, so to speak, and leave it there for like 2 months. You've been trying to break in for 15 years. 2 months ain't shit, okay? Leave it there, and you're gonna come back and you're gonna be honest with yourself about what the fuck is on the page. Because you're not like, I finished it, I wanna get it out, get my $1 million right away. That's the worst way to go out with a script. It is. Put it down, leave it alone for a minute, walk away, go do something else. Go start writing another script. Be super, the trick there, the best trick, I think, go off, you should already have, you should already have your next project already, you already know what the fuck it is. You shouldn't be like, I finished that, now what? You should already know what the fuck that is. And by the time you finish that, you're like, I'm super excited about this. And then you're on that, you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And you kind of forget about this one. You know? I know that sounds crazy to writers who are breaking. What? You have something valuable sitting around. Why would I leave it there for 2 months, dude? Dude, I got scripts that I wrote over COVID. No one's read them. Nobody. Like 3. Who cares? You know what I mean? When I read them back, it's like I didn't even write it. They may or may not go out. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm done there. Good luck, guys. Kill it and get that fucking laser focus. Because no one's going to be more honest with you than you. Peace.